जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दो
The Chennai Super Kings turn back the clock courtesy a sizzling innings from Ajinkya Rahane, a Mumbai boy playing for Chennai against Mumbai in Mumbai. These are the stories that the IPL throws up. That's what the scorecard looks like. Mumbai managing only 157 for 8. Jadeja was in the mood. Dhoni was in the mood as well. And Chennai were all over Mumbai when they bowled first. Ishan Kishan, Tim David, little contributions but not enough clearly. When Chennai came out to bat, they came out with a certain intent. And they came out with Ruturaj Gaikwad, of course, continuing his great run of form. 40 not out, seeing his team through. Ajinkya Rahane took that game away from Mumbai with 61 of 27, the fastest half-century of IPL 2023. You're watching Cricbuzz Live. Joy Bhattacharjya and Sthalekar alongside. Where has Ajinkya Rahane been?
I'll tell you an interesting stat. IPL 2022, I think playing for the Kolkata Knight Riders, 133 runs in 7 innings at an average strike rate of 103. His first match here, 61, strike rate of 225. What more do you want?
Hashtag never give up, Joy. Hashtag never give up. Just keep at it and things will turn around.
No, keep at it and one day hopefully you'll be traded to CSK.
That's a good point. It's a Dhoni magic, isn't it? Somehow players are able to raise their game. What is it? It's a beautiful intangible of our sport, of the IPL for sure.
I certainly think Chennai, between Fleming and Dhoni, they create a friendly family environment. And I'm not saying others don't, but their way of going about it is a very relaxed, chilled vibe. I don't get any stresses coming from that franchise.
I mean, I'll just want to add to that. There are many franchises who actually do more financially or do more for the team. But there's also a lot of pressure. The one thing that Chennai has done very successfully, okay, is keep away, in that sense, the pressure of ownership from the players. The players are totally insulated from the pressure. And that's absolutely fantastic. They do it so well. They do it consistently and so well whether they win or lose. A lot of teams do it very well when they win. But when you lose, to keep the owners and the management at bay, and literally the Chennai financial management, the people who run the CSK team, the other parts of the team, they find when they want to find out what the Chennai team is today, they look up Twitter or they look up the IPL site. It's literally like that. So that Chinese wall separation is what makes Chennai so good, because of course, that's only one part of it. After that, you have people like Dhoni and Stephen Fleming to make sure that it's the most relaxed atmosphere at all.
It's clearly the Dhoni impact, and some might think this could be difficult for CSK in the long run because you can't find a replacement for Dhoni eventually, right? Someday he'll go, 35 maybe?
Between 35 and 40. Definitely. But all I'm saying is when he goes, he'll come back as coach. So there'll be a coach and mentor. So Dhoni will be a mentor.
He'll always be around.
He'll always be around. He will be part of the Chennai fraternity. He's part of the furniture. Wherever Chennai is, so is he. And a bit like Sachin Tendulkar with Mumbai. You know, you always see him involved. And even Pollard now and DJ Bravo with Chennai. It seems like these franchises look after players that have spent a long period of time playing for them and been very successful.
Rahane would be thinking, listen, I was the one who scored runs and you guys are harping on and on about MS Dhoni. But Rahane, once again, much like Gaikwad, showing how important doing well in the domestic circuit is. I'm sure you know his numbers as well.
Yeah, I do have his numbers. His numbers are excellent from a first-class point of view. And Vijay Hazare didn't necessarily have the impact in the T20 format, but obviously took Mumbai to win. But I think it's also, you get to a certain age where you know your game.
Yep.
You know your strengths, your weaknesses. You're not trying to be something that you're not. That takes time. So these young players come in. Yes, they've got all of the shots, but they've also got so much going on in their head. Whereas Ajinkya Rahane knows what he needs to do, where his scoring area is, and he just manipulated himself to cash in today. It might not always happen. We've seen that, and sometimes you get an absolute brute of a delivery. But I think just his intelligence, his maturity, and the fact that he's toiled away for such a long period of time. See, he's like a red wine, you know, gets even better with age.
There had to be a wine reference on a Saturday night show.
Also, I want to tell you one thing. Rahane may not play the next 10 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, well.
That's the CSK. He's come in, he's filled a slot because Moeen is not there, Ben Stokes is not there. Time will come and Stephen Fleming will tell him, look, this is what it is. These guys play ahead of you, and it'll be fine because that's how Chennai works.
You know, Cricbuzz does a lot of video content and they're always looking for good anchors. I wonder if they'll want to audition Ruturaj Gaikwad. What an anchor they found. Chennai Super Kings have someone who will just be there and make sure the job is done. It's not about playing a big innings and saying, I've done my job, off I go. He wanted to ensure that the team finishes, crosses the finish line.
He does. Again, I actually have this problem with Ruturaj. Again, he's in such sublime form. Your team has played 109 balls. Okay? 109 balls, you've opened the innings, you've played just 36 of them. It's an interesting stat. You're the set guy.
Yep.
You're really seeing the ball like a football. You've really scored runs in the previous matches as well. I genuinely feel that when he's in form like that, he should be dominating the attacks a bit more. I mean, the 36 balls is something if you remember, we raised this point, Gaurav was there, and we raised this point in the first innings, the first match that Chennai lost as well, saying that Ruturaj was playing the best. He easily looked a class apart from the rest of the batsmen. Yet he had only 40% of the strike. And that's an interesting one. I feel somewhere that when you're in form like that, you almost need to be a little bit more selfish, get more strike on, because you're just seeing the ball so much better.
Yep, there is a fair bit of batting depth. So what Joy is saying is an anchor should be or can be a tonker as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, partially. Not.
Yeah, it's interesting. And maybe I didn't necessarily follow the game as closely, but sometimes it's dependent on your other player as well to get you on strike.
True. That's
so,
true.
You know, you must have seen the game a little bit differently, but, you know, you look at his numbers, 92 off 50, 57 off 31, and then unbeaten. What I like about him being unbeaten is that he's not leaving it up to someone else as well.
That's definitely
so you want your top order to get the job done. Ideally, yes, you want to go a little bit quicker, but we were saying in the green room, given how Chennai played last year, maybe they're just like, yes, we're going well, we've got a few wins on the board.
They've all learned from Dhoni. He likes to, you know, leave things till the end. He likes a crescendo in the end. But Chennai finishing this match with 11 balls to spare. A rare failure for Conway, but that didn't matter. Runs came in from Shivam Dubey as well. That bowling card. Arshad Khan will never forget that over where he got smacked for 4 fours and a 6 by Ajinkya Rahane. Berendorf there. It's a very uncomfortable looking bowling card for Rohit Sharma for all MI fans.
And that's not the card they were looking at. They were looking at a card that will have Jasprit Bumrah and Jofra Archer on top of it. That's
and neither now.
Yeah, so that's one thing. The other is that I think we are discovering very fast that Cam Green hasn't bowled too much in T20 circumstances at all. He has probably that sense of the slower balls. You know, it is obviously a science. It is a science. It is something that people perfect their slower balls, their variations, and you don't need that many if you're going to play red ball cricket or first class cricket. But in this format, if you don't have variation, how are you going to get them?
Same story for the last 2 seasons. They've struggled with the ball. Yes, there are worries with the bat as well for MI, but this bowling doesn't inspire much confidence.
No, I think if you're the opposition player, you kind of look at that bowling lineup. Is there anyone that you're fearful of? No, not really. So you can start, okay, one will swing, one will turn, someone will, you know, they'll put a bit of pressure on. Yeah, you can expect that. It's IPL. But there isn't someone where potentially you go, ooh, he's going to unsettle me. And that's what they miss. So maybe they can start to look at a Riley Meredith potentially coming in because, you know, he's still got the firepower. And if Archer's not fit to go, again, they've got to have that X factor of pace. So that's what they're missing.
Yeah, we can take a look at the squad to see who are the players that they can look at for some edge. Joy Sandeep Warrior has been waiting. He's been brought in as a replacement. Kumar Karthike was brought in today. Arjun Tendulkar was a part of the subs. Shams Milani, who's played a lot of cricket in Mumbai. The left-arm spinner, there's one. Jansen. Who do you look at?
I would definitely look at Riley Meredith at this point in time in terms of, enforcer bowler up front. You just can't go with one international bowler because on the second side, there's no pressure at all being put. I know that they went for Kartikeya because they saw, the success that both the spinners got from that side. And that's what they would have looked at Jadeja and Santner and said that, okay, maybe that's the trick out here. The ball's not coming on. But the truth of it is there's also a qualitative difference. And it's a difficult one. I feel that firstly, packing it with 7 batsmen or 8 batsmen is not going to make a difference because if your first 3 don't get going, having 9 batsmen or 8 batsmen will not change your game. But what will change your game is if you get an extra bowler in because you really need to give your bowling some teeth, give them a chance at least. Behendorf is also bowling from one side. He's not getting, there's no pressure at all from the other end.
They play the next game at the Kotla. That pitch surprised all of us. Lisa, how much of this match was about Chennai outsmarting MI? And how much of it was MI not turning up at all after the first 6 in the first innings?
I don't know about outsmarting. I just feel like Mumbai are a little bit lost at the moment. They haven't got Bumrah, first time in a decade. Archer's not quite fit. It's just they haven't coped since that mega auction, I feel like. It just isn't the same feel and look of Mumbai. And it's going to take them a little while to figure out. And maybe they didn't plan accordingly. I don't know. Just the pieces of the puzzle are not fitting at the moment.
Yep. After the golden generation ended, I shouldn't use the word ended, but looks like MI are struggling to recover from not having Hardik Pandya, not having Pollard around because those two have been saviours for MI on so many occasions and they're unable to find players to do the same.
Pollard, Kunal Pandya, Lasith Malinga
as well.
Malinga is a huge factor. Somebody like Malinga is very difficult to replace. So there's a whole lot of reasons why things are not easy. Also, Rohit Sharma is not in the kind of form they need him to be to pick up the pieces. When did you last do well? When Ishan Kishan and Suryakumar Yadav got 500 runs each. That's not happened last couple of years.
It is a team that's being rebuilt. A lot of their players are in their early 20s and mid 20s. So you reckon, much like the Reliance Group, they think 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. Is that the thinking here? If that is the thinking, is that the right way to look at how they've constructed the squad? Or have they been sort of handicapped by auction dynamics and unavailability of players to fill those holes that have happened as a result of Hardik going out, Pollard not playing anymore, no Malinga? How does a franchise look at things in the short run and the long term?
So first and foremost, what happens is the IPL has a self-correcting mechanism. What is a self-correcting mechanism? The mechanism is you have 6 star players. You can retain only 3 of them. You will not have the money to buy back the rest of the players because other teams will want them and want them at a very good price. Therefore, you're not going to get the same quality of players that you get. So every IPL team after a big auction, the successful teams automatically downgrade. And automatically the teams that are sitting out there, they have more money because these people have retained these 3 players. These other 3 players, they don't have the ability to retain. The problem they had was they chose to retain Ishan Kishan or go after Ishan Kishan at a huge price. And that price, basically the 3 prices that killed them were Ishan Kishan, Cameron Green, and the third one was Jofra Archer. Without bowling a ball, he was retained for 8 crores. So moment you've invested that much in resources that have not given you enough, you're in trouble.
CSK aren't in trouble at all. They play the next game against RR and the Sri Lankan players will be available for CSK. That means Pathirana will be there, Tishana. If you take a look at the squad, happier picture for MS Dhoni, Stephen Fleming in the think tank. Lisa, it gets better because everyone that MS Dhoni wants will be available.
Finally available, yes, but there will be still question marks about Stokes and Moeen Ali as well. But they've shown that they can play without them as well and win games of cricket. So obviously with the 2 Sri Lankans coming over, it just gives them a little bit more strength in the bowling department. And depending on what pitch they come to and what it looks like, they can get the bowling.
I got so carried away by Rahane's innings that I forgot about Deepak Char's unavailability.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Deepak Char is going to be a big miss because replacing an Indian fast bowler in a team that doesn't have too many fast bowlers out here. Tushar Deshpande has done well for them today, but look, that's all they have. They have Simarjit Singh after that, Tushar Deshpande, Hangargekar. That bowling is a bit inexperienced. Deepak Chahar was somebody they depended on, they paid a lot of money for. So that will make a difference.
Sunday night is going to be delightful once again at the IPL. The Gujarat Titans take on the Kolkata Knight Riders that saw a young impact sub doing the job for them. Lord Thakur came to the party as well. This is match number 13. It will be played in Ahmedabad. We've got to talk about, Nehraji and his team. They seem to have found the answer to who, if not Kane Williamson. They found a solid number 3. Do you reckon there is need to fiddle with that, look at another option, or just go with what's worked?
No, go with Sai Sudarshan. He looks good, doesn't he? I mean, the fact that, 62 off 48, number of sixes, number of fours, taking opportunities, that's exactly what we want these younger guys to do. He did that and he made it count. Player of the match performance, and I mentioned this last time Gujarat played, is that they don't rely on one player. I think now out of the last season and the 2 games so far, 8 different player of the match awardees. So they share it amongst the whole team.
2 wins in 2 for the defending champions, the Gujarat Titans. They brought in Sri Lanka's Dashan Shanaka as a replacement for Kane Williamson, but they seem to want to back Joshua a little. Joy, do you see Shanaka coming in anytime soon? If yes, for who?
No, I don't. Honestly, I think one of the things that Ashish Nehra is a huge believer in is that he feels that bowlers win matches. So Shami, Joseph, Little, Rashid is a very powerful, then Hardik Pandya. It's a really powerful bowling attack, and I don't think they want to mess with that. They will always have those bowlers to give them because their Indian batting is holding up right now. And with David Miller as a finisher, it's a perfect side right now.
Yeah.
They will not mess with this formula. They believe in wicket taking.
And seeing KKR's batting fragility, the likes of Mohammad Shami and Alzari Joseph and Rashid Khan will be salivating.
Yeah, I think there'll be some good matchups,
Yep.
won't there? So that's what we want to see as spectators. You want to see decent bowlers, Sunil Narayan, obviously Thakur, his wonderful performance, all-round performance really, Chakravarti as well, Southee has been good. So there's going to be some players there that will challenge the Gujarat side. But it seems like Gujarat have been able to kind of pick up where they left off.
We saw Mandeep Singh have a failure. Jason Roy is now available. Joy, they'll be tempted to make sure that he plays. How do they do
The
it?
problem, that's exactly the problem because Gurbaz is a wicket-keeper batsman.
Yep.
So they have to play Gurbaz. Though the 2 West Indians will play till 2035, they and Dhoni will keep each other company. And they need one international fast bowler because they don't have really a great fast bowling attack.
And they're not dropping Russell or Narayan either. So it's a tricky
So
one.
yeah, if Lockie is fit, they'll probably take Lockie in place of Saudi.
You wouldn't bring in Jagadish for Mandeep Singh, would you?
Absolutely, I would absolutely do that. I believe Mandeep has got his run. You can put in Jagadish. That also gives you the flexibility to replace Gurbaz, but how do you replace Gurbaz after innings like that? Like Jagadish can keep, but how do you replace a batsman who's in form like that?
How are KKR fans going to be reacting when Shubman Gill walks out for GT in GT colours?
KKR has enough experience.
Oh, so many of them. Rahane is ex-KKR, well, isn't he?
He's those runs that I told you about, those 133 for KKR last year. So
all right, then lots of mini stories, mini battle subplots to look at. But before we wrap up, one player to watch out for. Take your time. We can sit here for half an hour. We'll go to Joy.
Yeah, go to Joy.
Just for the same reasons as we spoke about, Shubman Gill, definitely Shubman Gill from one side. I'd definitely look at him because he'd want to make a point out here. And he was the golden boy of KKR before they thought Venkatesh Iyer in that 21 season did enough to justify his place ahead of Shubman Gill because Shubman Gill was almost sure to be retained before that Venkatesh Iyer innings, that lost 5 matches that Venkatesh Iyer played. So that's one. And if I have to look at the other side, I'm really excited about Varun Chakravarti this year. I believe if he maintains his fitness, if he maintains this kind of bowling, he should be playing for India. Again, a bowler who's, you look at his fitness and all the other factors come into play, but I really believe that if international quality batsman can't read him 3 balls out of 6, he should be playing for the country.
For you picked Varun Chakravarti. It was a great pick. He did really well for KKR.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a bit of a handful. So I'm just going to pick one. I think Sai Sudarshan. I think he's going to have another good performance.
Okay, The second match on Sunday will be played between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Shikhar Dhawan's Punjab Kings. I struggle to remember Punjab Kings. I always think of them as Kings 11 Punjab. And it's a team that's perhaps surprised more a lot of people. Let's talk about the Sunrisers Hyderabad first, shall we? Now, Joy, this is a team that's looking lost.
Where are they playing for starters?
They're playing at
They're
home.
playing at home.
At home.
Okay, look, it's a decent batting surface. They'll have to back themselves. It's going to be a night match, so the automatic decision to bat first, which they didn't take last time, maybe this time also they won't be able to take. Look, this is a really promising team which hasn't got its act together. You have to hope they'll get their act together, but there's not very much. They've got all the players. If the players are fit, there's a decent enough batting side. I still see Klassen coming in there as a keeper batsman somewhere, but
Maybe for Harry Brooks.
for Harry Brook, there has to be.
Yeah,
There's the only
because
place
Brooks
he can-
does.
Yeah, because Anmolpreet had a terrible game behind the stumps. He gave away a lot of extras.
Yeah, they have to get a proper wicket keeper in.
Fazal Haq Farooqi didn't find a place in the 11. He came in as a sub, but it didn't work. What's your 11? Let's look at the bowling first.
Yeah, maybe we need to bring that back up.
Yeah, we need to bring that up, yeah.
So, Bhuvaneshwar, Umran Malik, Natarajan. See, Akil Hussain could be someone that they could potentially think of as well, instead of Adil Rashid, because he'll give them a little bit more with the bat and is very good in the field.
Yeah.
Yep, and the changes, they will think of Klassen and perhaps Akil Hussain, who could be a force with the ball in the power play as well. So they can look at Mike Markande as well, Joy?
Perhaps not Mike Markande. I'm saying Akil Hussain for Adil Rashid, straight swap. Klassen for Harry Brooks, straight swap.
Yeah.
And then you look at perhaps getting Anmolpreet out, though he did okay with the bat because you have to get your keeper is out. No, actually
No,
no. You
'cause
don't need to do
Klassen
anything. You
can-
can just do a Klassen for Harry Brooks, straight
Yeah.
swap and leave it at that.
And they'll have to use their impact subs very intelligently as well. Let's talk about Punjab. They won their last game by 5 runs. It's a team that's perhaps, I suppose, punching slightly above their weight. They're surprising a lot of the cynics. It looks like it's slowly starting to fall in place. Prabh Simran is doing his job as well, right up top. That augurs really well for the Punjab Kings.
Absolutely. My favorite coach, Trevor Bayliss, who I'm a huge fan of, spent 2 really great seasons working with. He's there. I think he'll bring a little bit of calm. And I think the surprise has been the bowling of Nathan Ellis. In the absence of Rabada, Nathan Ellis has been fantastic, and he and Arshdeep Singh have really given them value. Take with that Sam Curran's ability to bowl up front and in the death, and you have one of the better bowling attacks out here. And what's happened is their batting has also given them some value. Only thing is that Rajapaksa last match he pulled up, I think he had a bit of a niggle, I'm not sure how.
Oh no, he got hit, remember, at the non-strikers
Yeah.
with the arm. So that will be interesting to see.
They don't
how
have too
he's-
many Indian batting options. Shah Rukh Khan's failures or inability to really get going is an area of concern for them. But on the foreign players, Kagiso Rabada is available, Joy. Who do you bring him in for?
You can't bring him in. Right now, in A list for Rabada, and knowing Bayliss, he might just say that, he's the guy in form.
Really?
Yeah, he's the guy in form. He might just.
For you, Rabada comes in? If yes, for who? We'll
Yeah,
put up the
see,
graphic again.
yeah, maybe we need to put that graphic.
No, because otherwise you have to replace an all-rounder. And I feel that.
So the other one is Sikandar Raza.
Raza,
I
yeah.
think that's where you potentially could get rid of him. Kagiso Rabada. I mean, I think from a batting perspective, they have enough as well. I think the internationals obviously need to carry their weight. If Shikhar Dhawan wants to play that type of innings, 30 off 30, and then kind of go right to the end, then
Or,
that
yes.
might work.
Or basically, Rajapaksa gets replaced. It's a Rabada for Rajapaksa swap. And all the batsmen just go up one place.
Yeah.
The other sidelight of this match will be Mayank Agarwal playing against his former side. I'm not asking you any questions, just react to it. I don't want to get into a controversial zone. Mayank against Punjab will be quite a sight.
Yeah, but Mayank's not that kind of player. And also, right now, what all Mayank is thinking about is his personal form.
Yep.
Because Mayank's personal form has not been great the last time. Both times he sort of got going and then got himself out and was trying to hit it over the fielder at mid-off. And just, he's not quite there. He wants to make a statement and he's not got it. So I think he's not even thinking about other teams right now. He's thinking about his personal form.
Let's pull up the SRH squad graphic so that Lisa can pick one player to watch out for from Hyderabad first.
Yes, I actually would like to see Markram.
Okay, he got a beauty.
He got a beauty the first ball.
You got to back him. And for Punjab?
And for Punjab, I'm going to go for Sam Curran again.
Good pick, Joy.
I think this Punjab side has a lot going for it. I just really find Arshdeep very exciting.
Hyderabad?
Hyderabad, Mayank Agarwal.
Has to be
Mayank Agarwal.
You've got to back Mayank Agarwal. He will come good. He's got form in domestic cricket in red ball, but he might just show his class tomorrow. Let's take a look at which teams are feeling better on the points table. This is, of course, the second Saturday that's just ended, and there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with 2 wins each. If Punjab win tomorrow, they go up to 6. Gujarat are aiming for a hat-trick of wins as well with a massive plus 0.700. It's still early days in the tournament. Mumbai are worried, 2 losses in 2. Delhi 3 losses in 3. In a couple of weeks, you'll see that there'll be 2 groups that'll go in different directions. At this point, it's looking very good for teams like Gujarat. Well, it's going to be a big Sunday at the IPL 2023. And Rajasthan versus Delhi is a match that we have to talk about. We got so carried away with Chennai's win that we forgot that this game happened as well. Massive win for Rajasthan. Take a look at that. The bowling came to the party. Chahal, Trent Bolt, Ashwin. When you have 199 on the board, it just makes the bowlers feel better. They go out there and back themselves.
It does. Certainly, Rajasthan have done well when they've been sent in. They've been able to put on close to 200 and 200 against Hyderabad as well. And from a bowling point of view, it gives you a lot of confidence. But then you've got someone like a Trent Bolt who just swings it up top and just takes a few poles within the first over, and that just sets the tone for that innings.
They're playing CSK next, but Joy, it looks like RR are soon becoming the team to beat. Such enviable balance.
Great balance. Look, I think that's the thing, that both the teams from last year have just picked up where they carried off. I mean, both RR and, if you look at it, Gujarat are looking very, very good. They're looking set sides and they're looking as if they know each other's game very well. So they're fitting in, complementing each other very well. Again, I say teams with the best, look at it again. You know, for all RR's batting, it's that bowling attack. It's those 3 and Jason Holder that gives them a solid base. You look at Gujarat. Where is Gujarat coming from? Shami, Alzari Joseph, Rashid Khan. That's the power of, that's where, you know, Gujarat derives its power from. And I think that is increasingly clear that specialist bowlers are winning matches for teams.
And specialist quizzers are winning this contest that we call Joy Factor. Always comes up with really tricky questions. This was what we asked. Joy, give us the answer.
Okay, which Indian cricketer made his T20I debut in a match with 3 other debutants, one of whom was captain in his very first match? There are very few international players who got. So that's Rahul Sharma. The guy who was captain at the other side was George Bailey.
Ah, yes.
Whose first international T20 match was as a captain of his team. So it rarely happens. It happened with Lee German, or it happens if the country itself makes its debut. Yeah. But it's very rare that you have a first match for your team, country you're playing. So Lee German was there, he was there. In fact, there were 2 other debutants in that team. And there was Xavier Doherty was a debutant, and so was James Faulkner, who later went on to do very well in that 2015 World Cup.
Wow, even Lisa's iPad will feel envious of whoever got this answer.
Yes.
Who got it right? Come on, put up that name. Vivek Agarwal, 1-3, well done. Thumbs up from Joy as well. Who are these people? How do they get these things right?
Is this a normal winner? Is this a...
No, I haven't seen Vivek's name, but possible, because they've missed a few shows in between, quite possible that we've got a new hero in our ranks. Yesterday was Partner Rodya, but these guys are very good. These guys are brilliant. And the worst part of it is they say, sir, we must send you questions ourselves. You must answer them. And I said, I have no hope of answering them. I have absolutely no hope of answering them. Lisa, do not encourage it. I know you've been trying to get me into trouble for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. Don't.
If I were following Joy, which I do, but if I were a quizzer, I would keep pestering Joy with whichever question I want, because he knows it all. He's got unlimited hard disk space.
He's not going to sleep tonight because all his Twitter's Ping, 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 ping.
All right, sorry, Joy. I know you've got a double header coming up. It's coming for you as well. So do join Cricbuzz Live at 3 p.m. tomorrow. 2 big games. It'll be fun as always. That's it from all of us on Cricbuzz Live. It's 11:20 Saturday night. Go off to sleep. Good kids, go off to sleep. Good night.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction,
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Hyderabad 50 Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दें